Well, I want to introduce someone who is really pretty cool.
And helps us all understand how the world has changed and how we can profit in it. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend Gihan Perera!
So can you see a quick show of hands? Who'd like to get in a spaceship and go to another planet? Yeah, okay. I always get a few. Who can think of somebody else who'd like to put on a spaceship and send to another planet? Yeah, okay. Right. Don't point to them.
There are two kinds of futures we face now. So one is a future that we can see, which may be challenging to be able to handle and manage. The second kind, which I think is more important, is a future that we can't see, where change is happening so fast that we literally can't predict what we'll face in that future.
If you look at those countries, the G7, the E7 and the F7, there's one country that doesn't appear in any of those lists, right? So what does this mean for us here in Australia? Google, Android, has 80% of the smartphone market, and Apple has about 15%. There's a few other little bits and pieces. And we can argue for ages about why that's the case, but one of the reasons is the way that the two companies look at their customers.
There's a lot of talk about disruption now. We hear about Uber disrupting taxis, Airbnb disrupting accommodation, Facebook disrupting real estate, Google disrupting banking. But disruptions like the weather, everybody talks about it, but nobody does anything about it. And it seems inevitable, but it's not. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Innovation is more important now than ever before, and I think innovation and disruption are exactly the same thing. It's disruption when it happens to you, it's innovation when you do it, and innovation is everybody's business now.
So whatever you're doing now doesn't matter unless it's solving a client's problem. And there are lots of problems you could solve. You don't have to solve all of them. You pick and choose. And it's just like recently I've signed up with a personal trainer. This is the before version that you see. And you know the way that personal trainers advertise? They always go, would you like to lose weight? We can help you. You never see a personal trainer going, are you fat and ugly? Would you like to be just ugly?
We live in the age of access now, where people have more power and more influence than ever before. But what will we do with that power? As Spider-Man's uncle said, with great power comes great radioactivity. Or words to that effect.
But I think when a bloke in boardies and sandals, working from his home office in Colombo, Sri Lanka, can tell me what I can buy in my local Woolies in Perth, that's when we know the world has changed. Do you agree? And on the way there, wearables in the patient will transmit data to artificial intelligence software, which will then send it to a cardiologist so that she's ready to do the right operation when the patient turns up. Does anyone recognize this? What is it? Pong, right? Yeah, so this is what computer games looked like when I was growing up. This is my partner Nikki's 14-year-old son Josh. He's the one on the left. And he loves computer games. And this is what computer games look like now on his Xbox. And the thing is, there are many leaders who are still Pong thinkers in an Xbox world.
One of the biggest challenges you'll face as a conference organizer now is to make your events remarkable. Not just memorable, but remarkable. Because memorable is where people remember them, but remarkable is where they comment on them, they refer back to them, they take the ideas and put them into action. So look at the person on your left, person on your right. If they look like unmotivated slobs, you're in luck. Because there's so many interruptions, distractions and change happening in everybody's life, it's much more of a challenge now to make sure your events are remarkable. I'd love to help you with that, because there's so many things that you can do to make your next event truly remarkable.